Morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. I am on my way to work, and I know y'all saw on the news that President, oh Lord have mercy, President Donald Trump just said that when they're about to strike Syria because of the weapons that they used on their people, and from the videos that I have saw or glimpsed at, women and children were hurt. Man, they had babies that had diapers on, and I'm like, God, that could have been Symphony. Okay, sometimes I ask the Lord, like, or I just sit and I'm like, why is it that man can just the touch of a button or just say war? Like, nobody likes war. When war happens, lives are going to be lost. The issue that I have is that lately I've been having these dreams. I think I told y'all the last dream I had was of my god sister, and she told me, she looked at me in my face and said, there's a storm coming. And when I looked over, there was this huge cloud. It was going to affect everybody. It was on the radar to affect everyone. And I realized that I needed to get food from my household. And I saw her cousin, he's a guy, and he was like, yes, I'm gonna need some bread for my strength. And when I look at that, her cousin is a man, and he needed strength, he needed bread. I knew that it was something that was going to be on the magnitude that was going to affect everyone. But I've never had a dream where someone tells me there's a storm coming. The thing about America is that she is great. She is great. The freedom, the liberty, justice for all. I mean, even though that there are some corrupt things that's going on, but there's no other country like America. She shines to the top of the hill and led only by God. This nation has formed and came a long way from slavery to rights for women and equal justice for all, and it's still trugging along for those who seek the freedoms. I mean, you cannot knock America. America is beautiful in all her ways. And so when you hear stuff like war, and then you got to understand, like with this Syria thing, Russia's backing it. You got a lot of countries that hate America. They hate you. They hate the flag. They hate the freedom. They want to bring her down to her knees. And then you got to understand that the enemy, the devil, has been trying to work not only against her, but in her. It's like she has cancer inside of herself. When you have corrupted people who disobey God, go against his will and his word, and yet she is still standing. But it's like, you got to understand that if this country is not led by God, she will lose. She will lose. So what do we do in a situation like that? And I'm saying this from a woman, a Christian standpoint, who has a child. I don't have guns in my home. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know I have a right to go out and bear arms, but I got a baby right now that I'm taking care of. I couldn't imagine it. And just like across the world, these mothers that are on their own with children, and bombs are just flying all over the place, what do you do? And I said to myself, I was thinking, and I was looking at my shoes yesterday that was sitting on my rack, and I was saying to myself, what if there come a time where none of this doesn't matter? It's like, you need to enjoy what we have right now, because if darkness is trying to snatch up and kill and destroy everything that's in its path, we are going to see something that we've never seen before. We're going to see things that we saw in movies. We're going to see things that we read about. You know what I'm saying? People don't know your history about World War II. You don't understand America. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to pay attention to it. But you better pay attention to it, especially if you are in America. If you are living here, you better pay attention to this mess, because this is, this right here is flexing his balls, like, to see which one has the biggest tank to take out the population. And the only people that's going to be affected is people like you and me. I'm like, Lord, I'm just being honest. I'm just like, Lord, come on, like, Father, I got a baby I'm raising. Like, oh man, just all of us, just our whole way of life may just change in the blink of an eye because of this. Because of this. Everybody that's sitting here sleeping, listening to music, going shopping, drinking, smoking, getting high, indulging in yourself and your way of life. If this thing escalate, everything that you're going to have to re-know it. I pray that this thing blows over. I pray for the people in Syria. I pray that our president will lead this country righteously. I pray that God's hand is with us in Jesus' name. Lord, please be with us, because, oh man, I mean, you gotta understand, like, it's like the world is waiting for America to do something so they can come back on her. And the things that is inside of her that are taking away the blessing that God has put upon her. It's like it's an enemy that's just trying to bring her to her knees, to this one world order mess. And I'm like, I better wake up. What you do? What do you do? I just pray that we don't go to war. I pray that he already said he's gonna put the strike out. Nobody likes to listen to this type stuff because it's the reality. Do you start saving up for water and bread and food and start putting away medical supplies and start saving your antibiotics from your doctor's appointment? Do you start doing these type of things? And then the big buildings that you live in, you hope and pray nobody tries that no missile hits it. But I mean, people have been having war, rumors of war, number one, and people have been having biblical dreams of war. I had a dream a couple of months back, and I didn't share it, but there were men, and they looked like they were Korean, or I don't know what they looked like. It was Chinese descent. And the pistol on this guy was like a long barrel, something that you would see out of an Indiana Jones movie. Like, and these people just started shooting. They didn't ask any questions. They were shooting in the crowds, and like thousands of people were falling over. Yesterday, I had a dream. I can't remember too much, but there was a pile of bodies. There were a bunch of men that I knew that was buried on top of each other. And I don't know if I fell into the pile. No, I did. And I was trying to get out, and there was a lady, and I grabbed her hand so I can get out of this pile. But it was piles of bodies. And I realized I was shown a graveyard where people, when a person would die, they would individually bury the people. But in this case, it didn't matter. It was too many that they just buried them all at one. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, but I don't know. I said to myself, Mona, you've been paying attention to the wrong stuff. You've been paying attention to the wrong stuff. And this time and this hour, we need prayer. We need prayer. So I'm just going to start praying for my country. I hope y'all start praying for your country too, and your families. The salvation of your family members, and just asking God to keep us. Oh man, it would be glorious if the Lord just take this church away, because I mean, Lord, there is an evil out here that people have no idea how horrible this evil is. They think that we're gonna, we live like kings, and it's true, we live like kings and queens over here. are people that want to take us down. And it's not fair. It's not fair to the families. It's not fair to the children. It's not fair to the people that want peace. It's not fair. It's like, that's why the Lord said, you know, when Daniel had that dream of that statue and how the legs was made of this, what was it, clay, the feet, and then he saw this huge boulder being thrown at it, this huge rock, and he prayed and fasted about the translation of the dream because he couldn't understand it. And the angel of the Lord told him that the Lord heard his prayer, but he had been battling the Prince of Persia, like he'd been battling the enemy to get this message to him. Bottom line, he talked about the different kingdoms, and that rock that was cut out, that was the Lord. Never again will God give government over to man. Man has always failed. Man has always failed. Like, whew. Man has always failed, and never again will he give it over to man. Jesus came and he made it right. You put a man in office, whether he be in the United States of America or on the other side of the world, they indulge in their own agenda. Their own agenda, and lives are at stake, and it's just numbers. It's just numbers. It's not fair. It's not fair. But I love how the Lord said, never again. Heaven and earth shall reunite like the bride and the groom, and the government will be heaven. It will be God. I pray that we don't go to war. I pray that that there will be peace, and even after that, it's written, Revelations, all of that's coming to play. I just pray to be caught up, me and my daughter caught up. You know what I mean? I'm still praying for my other family members. What is a woman to do with children in a war? Hold on. The Lord said, woe to the woman with child. Ain't nothing like a woman running for cover and got a newborn baby in her arms. Got a toddler in her arms. And it's even worse when there's no man in the house to protect her. So disrespectful, and I honestly believe like the media committed treason. Am I saying it right? Because you get up on here and you talk smack about our commander-in-chief in front of the entire world, and you create instigations and pushing this agenda to divide. They call it the free press. No, that's not free press. That's disrespect. And I, at one point in time, got swallowed away into this whole thing as well. Now I'm realizing, like, this is wrong. I pray we don't have any planes come on our shores, or on our lands, or on our borders, trying to hurt our children. I got a father that's on dialysis, man. Like, I got grandparents that's getting up there. Children, you know what I'm saying? Nieces and nephews. Y'all got family too. Y'all got family too, man. Like, and a lot of us not paying attention. Not paying attention. It's like, it's not going to hit here, but when it does, you want to be prepared. And before it hit here, let's start praying this mess away. really hope and pray that this don't happen. I won't even be on YouTube like that no more. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I think communication, all of that's gonna be shut down pretty soon. Anywho, y'all have a blessed day. I don't want to be sounding so depressed, but we need to make sure that we at all times are paying attention to what's going on with our surroundings. If for any reason, if there is a war or something is about to go down, to prepare ourselves, you know, and the men in our household or in your household, whatever the case may be, they're going to have to really prepare themselves to protect their homes. You know, I'm looking how beautiful it is out here today. Like, oh, it's so gorgeous. Today's supposed to be like 80-something degrees. It's absolutely gorgeous out here. I'm going to enjoy these blue skies. I'm going to enjoy this because who knows if we're going to see this the next day. That's just the reality of what we live in. I pray we don't go to war. I pray that other countries don't try to jump us. Oh, they go to oh, this is the, what's the name, cemetery? I didn't know it's all the way back. Look at all of these, ooh, all of these soldiers that died for us. Look, I'm sitting here talking about war and I'm passing the what's the name, cemetery. I'm saying what's the name, I know the name, but it's not. Anyway, I wish y'all a peaceful, happy day. If there's anything that you do today, one thing you should do is make sure you pray for America, pray for our president, just pray for our family, the soldiers, you know, and pray for Syria, pray for the innocent over there. And honestly, I really hope and pray we do not go to war. I really do.